It's time for another Dice Tower review with Zee Garcia.
Hey everybody, I'm reviewing all the games from the Paco Games 2 set. These are the 8 new games in this line of tiny little packages that all have a whole game in there. And the one I'm looking at in this video is this one right here, ORC. ORC is a 2-player game, sort of a tug-of-war style game, in which you are trying to control specific tribes of orcs, score the most points for them. I'm going to give you a look at how this works. I'm also going to rank this game among all the 8 in this package, as well as all the 8 in the original set that came out, Paco Games, the very first 8. And so just to give you an idea, I thought it'd be fun to do, and just to give you an idea of where I think it sort of fits in the entire line of these. There are lots of them now. So let's take a look at this one, and we'll come back, and I'll tell you what I think of it. So here's what the game looks like, set up, ready to begin. We're going to have 6 territories. You make sure that they are of different colors. And you are going to assign 4 cards to each of the territories, which are split between the card. There will be 3 cards left over. A player will decide if they would like to be first or second. If you are first, you take 1 card and you play first. Second player gets 2 to balance out the game. So let's say my opponent there will take 2 cards. I'll take 1. This is the card I have. The cards, as you can see, are broken up into 2 kinds of orcs, the colors, and then strength, whether it's 1 orc with a single dot there, or 2 orcs with 2 dots. On my turn, I am going to play a card, and then I will draw a card from a territory. You can also discard a card instead of playing one out, but you typically won't do that. The trick here is when you assign an orc to a territory, it must not be the matching kind. So I cannot assign this red orc to the red territory. This is fine, however. And once I've assigned a color, I will continue to only play that color orc in that place. I will then draw one. It can come from any one of these territories. And the idea is when one of these territories is completely depleted of cards, it will then be scored. So I'm going to do this right here, and then I'm going to draw cards. I will draw, if I play strength 2 orcs, like this one here with the 2 dots, I will get 1 card. If I play a weaker card, I will draw 2 cards to balance out what's happening. So I'm going to play a strength 1 here, and I'll take 1 from here and 1 from here. This is my new hand. It'll go now to my opponent, who's going to take a look at their hand. And they are going to play a strength 2 right there, also in red. They played a strength 2, so they only get 1 card. They're feeling pretty good about winning this blue, so they're going to draw 1 card from there. Comes back to me. And this is going to continue until... Oh, let's pick a thing here, shall we? Let me do this. And I draw 1 from, I don't know, there. The idea is this is going to continue until one of these is depleted, then you score that 1 location. Let me just jump ahead a little bit. Let's say my opponent plays there and draws 1, 2, and then I'll play here and draw 1, and that's it. This one is depleted. We now check who wins by the strength. They have 1 strength, 1 orc there. I have 3. I win this. We're going to discard all of them but 1, and I'll just leave a card with the spear facing up on my side to denote, hey, I've won this location. This is going to do 2 things for me at the end of the game, which is when they're all empty. I'm going to score as many victory points as the strength of the land I've conquered, in this case, 2 victory points. I'm also going to get victory points for every yellow orc in my hand. As of right now, I have none, but obviously as you draw cards, that is all part of the information you're going to use to control other places. I now would like to continue to hoard yellow orcs. And so if I have a yellow on a something, I'll probably not play it. I'll hang on to it so I can score it. This continues to happen. The other player will be controlling some locations. I'll eventually win some. They'll win some. Until at the end of the game, let's just say for the sake of the argument here, this is what I've got. I'm going to score up my victory points. Let's say I ended up with these cards here. So I'm going to get 1 victory point for controlling that, 2 for controlling that, another 1 for controlling that. That's 4. Then white. That's another 2 right there. So 4, 5, 6. Then yellow, 6, 7, and that's it. And then purple, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points. That's my final score. My opponent would do the same, and we would see who is the winner of the game, and that should give you an idea of how to play Orc. I tend to enjoy tug-of-war style games for 2 players. There are many, many of them, so it's certainly not a style of game, a genre that's hurting for more content, but I do enjoy it. Now, this one here has a difficulty rating of 2, which means 1 would be casual, 2 intermediate, 3 it's a challenging game. I think 2 is about right. It's also, though, probably the shortest game in the entire package. They say 5 minutes. I would say between 5 and 10 minutes if you sort of want to, think about what you're doing. But I think that's interesting. And that combination of the game being so short but clever is really what makes this one a fun little package. I love the color concepts working together. The designer has taken 6 colors and taken strengths of 1 and 2 on the cards and made all of these interesting combinations of score. You control the land, you score as many points as the strength of that card, which is just a regular card that you flipped at the beginning of the game. You can control the land, but not with the matching color, okay? You are going to score the ones you keep for the color you won. And again, these things are not mind-blowing, but they are clever, and I do like this one. I think if you are someone that enjoys quick fillers of that tug-of-war style, then I think you're going to enjoy this tiny little package. It's clever, and that's the best way I can describe it. Certainly super short, but interesting. So, where does this one rank for me? Let's take a look here. Among the new 8 games, this is number 4, which is good because I do like it. I am saying I enjoy it, and that means there are 3 that I think are even better than this, so pretty good. Among all of the games, this is number 8. And again, that's smack dab in the middle of the 16 pack. So these games are, for the most part, clever and interesting and very surprising for what you are buying. That there is a game in here, that it's a fun game, colorful, interesting, some decisions, is kind of amazing. So Orc would definitely recommend it for 2 players for just a quick head-to-head battle. This one gets a seal of approval from me, so check it out. That's Orc.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.